channel, or hi if you're new. Today we're finally gonna do a makeup tutorial. I know you've been asking for this for a very long time, and I was waiting for Halloween because I wanted to show you a makeup palette that I got a couple of months ago, I think, which is the Vampyrism from Jolie Beauty. It is really beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite things ever makeup related, and it's just stunning. This is not the first thing I get from them. I also have these other two palettes and a few other things, and let me tell you, the quality is amazing. This is one of my go-to makeup brands when I want to do my makeup for photos because it always looks stunning. There's very little fallout and the quality and results are amazing. So if you like to look that I'm wearing right now, stay here because I'm gonna show you step by step how I did it. First, I'm gonna start prepping my face with this essence from Pixi Beauty. It's really good and you only need a couple of drops. Next, I'm using an eye primer from Kiko and I'm applying it with my fingers. Next, I'm moving to a concealer from Sheglam, and even if it's really affordable, I think it's really good. The brush is also from Shein and it's really cheap, like $3 for a bunch of them, but for concealer it's really great. I'm applying it under my brow and over it to accentuate the shape and lighten that part. Now moving on to the makeup palette. I am in love with it, and I'm gonna start with Michael, which is the best base for this look. I'm only tracing the shape I'm gonna go for with the fluffy brush that I got from Romwe. Next, I'm using Undead to set the primer under my brow bone and to make it lighter. Now I'm going with Seduction, and I'm using a brush from Better, which is a Spanish brand, I believe. And I'm applying it all over my lid in the places where I want the red eyeshadow to be. I prefer to go little by little and add only a tiny amount of product each time, but these shades build up really nicely. Now I'm using powder to blend out this color, and I recommend using something that's brown or skin color and not white, because otherwise you will end up with pink eyelids. Next one is Immortality, and I'm adding it to the center of my lid, and it's only like a base for the next color. Now I'm using Afterlife to darken the outer V so you get a little more intensity, and I'm using the black one to trace where the eyeliner will be later on. Going back with Undead, I'm using it in the inner corners of my eyes to lighten that area, but be careful and don't blend it, because if you do, you'll end up with pink lids again. And now let's start for a little bit of shimmer in there. Now I'm using some concealer to clean up the area. These shadows don't have that much fallout, but maybe the shiny ones have a little bit of fallout. So remember to use a napkin or something to remove that if there is any fallout before you apply concealer. Now I'm using Afterlife again for my lower lids, and I'm just using the same fluffy brush as before, and I'm trying to make it a little thinner with my fingers. And now with a big fluffy brush from Romwe, I'm only blending that out. Now I'm gonna use Life Force, which is the shimmery one, and I'm applying it with my fingers because I think it always works better with shimmery eyeshadows, even if it's a little bit of a mess and I don't like that. Now I'm blending out the lower lid again because I thought I could extend the red part a little bit, and I'm darkening the black part. I also got an eyeliner from Jolie Beauty, and let me tell you, I am in love with it. I love eyeliners that are like have hairs on the tip instead of felt, because I think they work a little bit better. But since it was the first time I was using this one, I decided to go little by little, but I was positively surprised with it and I really loved the way it worked. The only problem I had was in the inner corner, which I think was like a little soft for that area, but other than that, I love it. Now I'm gonna use my all-time favorite lipstick and this lip brush for eyeliner on the lower lid. Be careful and go little by little again, because it's easy to mess up this part if you go too hard on it. Now I'm doing my brows with this brow gel by Technic, which is really cheap, and an angled brush. And I'm gonna do light strokes only like on the lower part of it, on the top and on the tip. I have very pronounced eyebrows naturally, so I don't need to do that much to them other than framing them a little bit and expanding the tail a tiny bit. For this part, you can use any white or creamy or pinkish pencil that you have at home. I'm using one from Kiko, but I also have another one I like a lot from Essence. So I can link both of them in the description box in case you don't know which one to get. When it comes to eyelash glue, I've tried a lot in the past and this is my all-time favorite. It's from Sheglam and it's extremely cheap, but ever since I tried it, I'm not going back to Duo or any other brand because I just love it. The eyelashes are from Jolie Beauty again and they're called Luminous. They are really big, more than they look like on the box, to be honest. And I really like the way they look because they're like 3D, so there's hairs going everywhere and they look really natural on. Now for my base, I'm going with this foundation from Kiko, which is again super affordable, but the quality is great, and I'm applying it with a very cheap brush from Shein. I know these brushes look really trashy, but they do their work, and although they're not the best, I got more than I paid for. Now I'm using the same concealer I used at the beginning of the video, and I'm applying it with the same brush that I used for my foundation. For contouring, I'm using the best product ever for that, which is this palette from Lunatic Cosmetic Labs, and I'm applying it with a Mary Kay brush that I got a long time ago, but feel free to use anything that resembles this shape. Now for blush, I'm using the same palette again, and this brush, I think it's from Kiko. Yeah, it is from Kiko. And for highlighter, I'm using this one from Technic, which is a super affordable brand, but their products are kind of nice. And another brush from the cheap Shein collection. Going back to that contour palette, I'm using a different shade for my nose, and I'm only contouring the tip because I don't think anything else works for me. Now with the same eye pencil I used for my eyes, I'm tracing the shape of my lips to make it easier to draw them on later on. And I'm using the same lipstick I used for my eyes, which is from Lunatic Cosmetic Labs, and it's called Carrie. I'm seriously obsessed with this one. I know it looks a little bit dry because I've had it for several years, but I don't want to throw it away. It is the perfect color, the perfect consistency. It feels really good on my lips and I love it. This is my most requested lip look, which is using either black or dark purple gloss on top of red lipstick. And I'm using this one because I know it's still available, while the other one was a limited Hello Kitty edition. This would be the finished makeup look before we make it more interesting, but I wanted to show you the details and the texture because the foundation is really good. And now let's make it more interesting with these contacts from TTTI. They're called Real Crystal and they're some of my favorites. Now I messed up really badly and my camera stopped filming this part, so here's like a non-makeup demonstration of how I did this. And as you can see, it's really easy. You just have to use a burgundy lip pencil and draw lines in your face carelessly. Now I'm using a very old fake blood bottle that I had at home because I couldn't find my new one for some reason, and it's almost coagulated, so it doesn't work very well, but it did its job. And that's the finished look, and let me tell you, I love it. That was everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this makeup look, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will hopefully see you in my next one. Bye!